one of the early victims of the coronavirus, big Talmid Chacham, Talmid of Palm, from Kew Hills. And in his Sefer Torah V'das, Rav Matis shares a thought from Rav Meir Shapiro, who we know was the founder of the Daf Yomi cycle, the Rosh Hashiva of Chachmei Lublin. And he points out there's a Gemara in Zvachim that says that when the Torah was given, there was this tremendous sensation that reverberated around the entire world. And the kings of the Umos HaOlam, of the nations, got very scared about what was going on with this tremendous, momentous feeling that they sensed that something was happening to the entire universe. So they were afraid maybe another Mabul is about to engulf them all and destroy the world. And Bilam Arasha said, no, this momentous feeling is HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving the Torah to the Jewish people. Hashem Mos Lemo Yitain. So then the kings were mollified and they said, whew, we're really happy that this doesn't mean it's a major catastrophe. Hashem Yivarech Samo V'Shalom. If this is something that's going to bring peace, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should continue to bless the Jewish people for receiving the Torah and enabling the world to continue. So what was going on? So Rav Meir Shapiro suggests that what happened was that they saw strange things were going on. Everybody was getting along with each other. That this is something that was an unusual force of nature, that you had the wolf, Vagar, the Avim Kevis, the wolf getting along with the lamb, Benamim and Gedi Yerbatz, like the Navi Yeshayahu says, the leopard and the goat both lying down together, something very, very scary. The only previous time in history that such a thing occurred was at the time of the Mabul. In the Teva, you had all the different animals, predator and prey, all living together. Nobody was killing each other. So maybe this indicated something terrible was happening, because all too often, the only time that everybody gets along with each other is during a time of a terrible catastrophe. So maybe it meant a catastrophe was going to occur to the world. So Bilam reassured them and said, no, there's another type of peace, the type that's described in Navi Yeshayahu, B'achris Hayamim, the end of days, when you have the wolf and the lamb getting along with each other. That's a sign of peace and tranquility, and a sign that there is goodness in the world. And how is that brought about? How do you have that type of achdus? That type of achdus is not the achdus of a pandemic per se. It's not the achdus of some type of a terrible attack or some type of a terrible crisis that engulfs the entire world. It's the achdus comes about when Bnei Yisrael receive the Torah, when we're Ki'ish Echad, B'leiv Echad, as Rabbi Gelman noted, when we're all in one heart, one state of mind, one frame of mind, that we have the sense of togetherness because we're united with the Torah. So when the Bnei Yisrael are united through the Torah, so then that's when all of the nations of the world are able to say, Hashem Yivarech Samo V'Shalom. This is what brings about the greatest salvation for the entire world. So this is really what we're doing at this period of time. The learning of Torah that you have performed, that we are celebrating today. This is what ensures that we should be able to maintain a sense of harmony, a sense of togetherness when, Mi'as Hashem, we're able to overcome and get over this pandemic, when we're able to go out and reopen our shuls and our batei midrashos fully again, that we should have this spirit of togetherness, the spirit of peace, the spirit of getting along, the spirit of achdus that only can come about through the Torah. I would add, one supplementary note to this Dra Torah, which is that there's an account in the Shla, Shnei Luchos Abris, written by Rav Yeshayahu Horowitz, of course, who lived in the 17th century. He recounts an incident that occurred in 100 years earlier in the 16th century, that was written up by Rav Shlomo Alkabetz. And he records everything as it was written by Rav Shlomo Alkabetz. There was a Shavuos night. This really is the forerunner of what we observe today as Tikkun Leil Shavuos, somewhere in Italy, in Turkey, where Rav Yosef Karo and Shlomo Alkabetz were living at the time, and they got together. They didn't even have a minyan. Just like the learning that you did this past Tikkun Leil Shavuos. Just a few people got together and they were learning. And after they had learned a couple of Masechtas of Mishnayos, suddenly the Shekhinah itself manifested itself in front of them, started speaking through Rav Yosef Karo and saying, oh, what you have achieved today, what you have achieved through staying up on Shavuos night or through your tremendous zeal of Torah learning, you have no idea of how much you have comforted me, how much you have comforted the Shekhinah, how much shalom, how much peace you have brought upon the world. And when you're able to get together and have a minyan of people learning, if you should be able to achieve that, how much more pleasing that's going to be in front of the Shekhinah. But you have achieved so much even right here and now. And the Shekhinah encouraged both of them, said, Alu Eretz Yisrael, don't stop here in Turkey, go up to Eretz Yisrael. We know the ending of the story of Yosef Karo went to Eretz Yisrael and wrote the Shulchan Aruch. Shlomo Alkabetz went up to Eretz Yisrael. He composed the Lecha Dodi. It is through this confluence of learning of Torah and singing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with beautiful songs. This is what brings peace to the Shekhinah. The last words that were mentioned by the Shekhinah, according to the account of Shlomo Alkabetz, to those who were assembled that night were Hashem Oz Lamo Yitein, Hashem Yivarech Esamo Vashalom. It's now my pleasure to turn over the program so that we can all be inspired together through the majestic singing of Eitan Katz.
Shalom Aleichem, everybody. You can hear me? I'll take that as a yes. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Thank you so much, Rabbi Reese. It's quite embarrassing to be introduced by the big Rav. Who am I to be? I should be introducing you and all the other Rebbeim. Before I share a few words about how excited I am about being part of this wonderful event, let's begin with the niggin. I see לדוד עבדך במה ויחסנם הימן ישי משיחך לי 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 All right. I can hear all the cheering all the way from Chicago, Baruch Hashem. Anyways, I'll tell you one thing very special that, Baruch Hashem, since this whole thing has started, as you can imagine, my main office of work has been in front of the computer on Zoom, and I've done many events. And when I was called to do this one, I happily agreed. Why not do something for the Chicago community? Beautiful. But then when I saw the flyer, that the amount of shiurim and achdus and like just togetherness, I was so humbled and happy that I could be a part of it also, because that's what we need. We need a lot more than just these isolated events. We need events like this that are just, my little part is just a little dot on this beautiful chart of so many inspiring shiurim and events. So Hashem should bless all of you. Like Rabbi Gelman said, with a continued level of achdus and a continued level of love for each other and inspiring each other. And Emir Hashem, if I can inspire you a little bit, you'll inspire me back. Emir Hashem. You know, everybody, the words that we say every single day we say them during davening, and I feel that these words are like a mini Shavuos every single day for us, where we say, thank you, Hashem, so much for giving me the Torah. Every single day we say this. And that is for a person who just knows how to say Aleph Beis, and that is for a person who is learning up Rebbe Akiva Eger's. That's just for a person who just was introduced to Yiddishkeit, and that's for a person who's been doing it for 95 years. The ability to say, thank you Hashem for giving us the Torah and basically setting us on the right path. That is the Simcha of Shavuos, and that's how we have a mini Shavuos every single day, every single morning. So listen, I can't hear you, but some of you, I could see you've activated your videos. So if you're gonna clap, clap. If you're gonna sing, sing. Let me feel that energy. Having a good time. There we go. Man, I can use your drumming now. Let's go clap your hands, everybody! Clap, clap! Hop, 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 hey, hey, hey! Bunny, 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 I'm being lost. See, I'm seeing, see, bunny, bunny, bunny. Good day, I'm being lost. See, I'm seeing, see, bunny. Besham nashir, shechadash, dominanale. Besham nashir, shechadash, dominanale. Alay, lay, 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 one more time, him be loud, and I tell you, and I said, I said, all right, Baruch Hashem. Oh. Well, join me if you know it. These words are from, if I would have told you, translated these words for you, and told you that the words mean that don't give up, it's closer than you think. It's within reach. That very much sounds like what I call like 2020 chizuk. What does that mean, 2020 chizuk? In general, we have such a shvach adar, such a weak generation that we need so much chizuk and just knowing that we can do it. But the truth is that these words are from the Heilige Torah itself. That Moshe Rabbeinu himself says to us these words as if he's mamish talking to our.
Are you there?
So it's almost like Moshe Rabbeinu was sitting there on his chair, on his throne before he was nifter, and had a vision of what Tafshin Pei would look like. We all thought Tafshin Pei was Tehei Shnas Parnasa. Little did we know it was Tehei Shnas Pandemic. But Moshe Rabbeinu was telling every single one of us right now that however far a person thinks he might be, L'maisa, he's so much closer. So if that person thinks that just maybe one Mishnah a day is so far away, it's not true. One Mishnah a day is possible. If it has to be less, if it has to be one Rashi a day, I never did a Rashi, it's close to you. If a person never did an Amud Gemara, a Daf Gemara, a Daf Yomi, an Amud Yomi, a Daf Shavua, so many different programs that we have maybe psychologically have decided that it's impossible for us to do. No, not true. Moshe Rabbeinu preempted those thoughts and said, no, it's not true. Ki korav elecha hadavar meod. Ki korav elecha hadavar meod. Ficha Kulam. Kulam is the gematria. All of these Orthodox synagogues in Chicago. I'm telling you, it works out. If it doesn't work out, just add another vav or a yud, whatever it is. Kulam kedusha l'chai shaleshu. Whatever it adds up, it definitely adds up to what we're doing right now. Hey, yachad, 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 yachad. Kola kedusha lecha eshaleishu. Kola kedusha lecha eshaleishu. Yeah, there we go. I would like to dedicate this next niggun to my dear friend Rabbi Matanki and his family. He was one who reached out. I'm sure there were many people involved in this, putting this out together, but the Rav Shlita was the one who reached out to me, and I want to give him a bracha. שתצליח בכל מעשה ידיך, אמיץ השם. למענך, אלוהי ואלוהינו, עשה, אלוהי ואלוהינו. למענך אלוהינו עשה ולבואי לנו יהיה עמידתנו דלים ורעים הנשמה נשמה לך ויגוב בעולם כוסה על המלאך הנשמה Chai. I am Israel, I'm Israel, I'm Israel Chai. I am Israel, I'm Israel, I'm Israel Chai. I am David Chai, I'm David. I am David, David, David Chai. Oh David Chai, oh David Chai, oh David, David, David Chai. I'm Israel. Thank you so much, cRc. Thank you so much, Chicago. And we should see each other in person for bringing together in better times. Hashem should bless all of you. Thank you so much for having me, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi Eitan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you with us.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
And Kermit's here too. The frog.
Ah, there we go. All right, everybody. Kol Tuv. Take care, everybody. Thank you.